Welcome back to Gold Derby. I'm Christopher Rosen. I'm so pleased to be joined by Christa Miller, an Emmy Award nominee who plays Liz on the Apple TV Plus comedy series Shrinking. Krista, of all the characters, I would say in season two are given a chance to grow and change. I feel like Liz maybe has the most surprising turns, certainly from what we saw of her in the first season, I guess. So just overall, when you got the scripts for season two here and saw what was going to happen with Liz, what were your feelings and what did you think of the direction she would go, I guess.
I was surprised. I'm like not really privy to anything other than like Bill talks to all the actors, like we're thinking of going here, but I didn't know about the kiss really till like a couple weeks before, and I was like, hey, that sounds fun, but oh, that's scary. Like I'm gonna get shit for that. I mean, Ted McGinley won't even speak about it still. I mean, we last night he doesn't want to talk about it. Um, Uh, yeah, it was, they saw something, the writer saw something in season one and they wanted to lean on that of me being vulnerable. And when it started just getting more and more of that of my character, I really felt an experience that I think a lot of moms who are empty nesters and which in my youngest is going off to college next year and trying to find a purpose and a passion, which we always as actors have to find during downtime, regardless whether you're working or not. I could really lean into it,
Yeah.
but it was different. Sometimes I would come home and I just like couldn't even speak, in a good way, but it was a lot. They gave me a gift this
Yeah, I
season.
was gonna say, is it exciting to get to play that kind of material? I think it's
Yeah,
it's just really great. And it's I guess that must have been really exciting then to get to do that, even the challenge, right? Yeah.
it's so exciting, and also because to feel like like you just want to lean in and you're hoping that stuff will come on the day, and we have such a safe set and this incredible cast. I knew that this would come, it would come, and it was a gift. I felt really grateful. I would open the scripts and, we would get them, Friday or Saturday and be like, my heart would beat fast.
I love the scene when and Liz and Derek have their discussion and you and Ted in that scene I think are amazing. It's the Cincinnati, when he's one Cincinnati, right? Or and you're I love that scene so much. I think it's so good. I really I love seeing Ted in that scene. I think it's a great, and you too. And I just I guess for you guys, yeah, you're saying he still doesn't want to talk about it in real life, but I guess for you as actors, how was it doing that scene and kind of getting gearing up for that moment, because it's obviously such a big moment for their relationship, and it's an interesting dynamic that again we had not seen previously, I guess.
Well, we have a very intimate set, and going into it, and we kind of shoot, in order of the scenes. And, oddly, I remember when I was doing the kiss, one of the crew guys said to me, with not, I mean, not joking, he goes, that was not too Cincinnati. Because they read the whole script, everyone was like, it was like quiet. And then when I did that scene with Ted, everyone felt bad for Ted, and Ted just brought it. He's been so fantastic this year. And it was very quiet on set. It was a very lovely moment for us to have.
Mhm. You also, you're saying, Ted is fantastic. I think you're fantastic. This again, this ensemble. I think we talked about this before. It's an incredible ensemble. It feels like everyone is could have their own show basically, right? It's that kind of show. And I guess for you, when you're seeing the other actors hit these higher levels, does that make you also want to is it kind of everybody's oh, I want to do well because everybody else is doing well, that kind of thing?
Yeah, and it and
Okay.
it, you know what? Also, we did a panel last night, and Michael Yuri said something which I always think too. Everyone in the cast spoke so eloquently, and Harrison as well was saying it's just magical and it's safe and the dialogue's so good. And Michael said, I realized on the first day that, because when you're doing a show, usually when you're doing a TV show, you'll have your sides, and people sometimes, I like to know my material, but people will have their sides when they do the rehearsal, camera rehearsal, and they'll hide sides everywhere. So like they'll have it. There are no scripts on our set. No one has sides. Everyone comes in,
Hmm.
all their stuff, everyone, 1,000% backwards and forwards. So when we get on set, we can do it. You're not trying to remember a line. You have it. So and Michael's like, I realized I had to bring A game. And I realized after the table read before we even shot the pilot, I'm like, oh my God, like it's time to bring it. There's, you know, this is
It,
it.
it's crazy too. I was thinking this because it feels like sometimes it feels like it's like especially because like like Bill obviously is so like these shows that Bill makes are great and like the cast are amazing. But I'm like I look at this and like it feels almost like an Avengers of TV because you have Ted obviously yourself, Josh Hopkins right guest star this season. You worked with on Cougar Town, Kobe Smulders this week right in this latest episode. I'm like all these people, Jason obviously have been great on great TV shows and like getting to put everyone together. It just is like oh wow this is like really cool. Like you have all these like just absolute pros crushing this great material. It just is like I'm like, oh, it feels like a show that's like it's like that, like the Avengers. But I don't know. That's what I was thinking when I watch it. I'm like,
Thank
how do you
you.
guys like it really does feel like really the best of the best doing like
But
this
it's
kind
the
of
writing.
material.
The writing is so good.
Mhm.
I'm saying that everyone, I've never had this on a set that I always like want to be the teacher's pet, and the AD calls me to set. And I'm the first one. I'm like, you call me, I'm there. And I'm always like, do I, the AD is a friend of mine, Ben Weiss, and I'll say, so do I get? He goes, everyone comes the second you call them. I mean, everyone comes. I was like, oh, uh-oh. Like no, there's no scripts on set. There
It's
is
crazy.
you never see a script on a set. And I was like, that's exactly because but it's not only that we have this great writing, because when you have this material, it's also easier to memorize when something's so good. But it feels like the crew, the writers, the editors that I work on, because I do the music, I work with them. They put music in for
Mhm.
me. Everyone's doing 100%. Sometimes I'm really annoying. I'm like, could you please try these four songs, which is more annoying to place four to try, and they're like, we'll do six, we'll do whatever you want, and they'll say to me, "We put this on here," and I'm like, "I like it. You did a great job. You had like we're this team there, and I don't know. It really feels special, and also the cast has authentically developed relationships. So you're seeing that development from the first season. We didn't know each other that well, and a lot of characters didn't know each other that well,
Yeah.
in the show, and then you see it come around. I don't know. When we did this panel yesterday, Harrison was so lovely, and we were all in tears. And I just thought, what are we? It like feels crazy.
Yeah, it really does. You mentioned Harrison, obviously, like you and Liz and Paul get to have, like you're saying, like the relationships kind of growing in this season. I love you guys together. I think that's like a great flavor as well. And I guess like how much did you enjoy, getting to explore that this season too? Because like you said, like having these different pair ups, and again, when you have a show with like so many great characters, it is fun to just pair the characters up, right? And you could do different
Yeah.
permutations. But I love the Liz and Paul dynamic because I like you like the show is revealed. They kind of are similar in a lot of ways. So I think that's
No,
really
and they
fun.
drive each other. But also anyone, like you go, oh, I get to be working with Luke this week. And you're like, I
Mhm.
can't wait. Every different person is a different energy and a different thing you bring to it. And I mean, I'm really grateful.
You had Luke has a great line in the episode. I would forget what number it is, but when he's in the hospital and he's on the drugs and he says, "You blindsided me," and then you blindsided me. I thought that was it's a great line about Liz. I just think it's like that kind of jokes. It's just a great joke show. Also, uh, you get later in the season. I know just to tease. I know you'll have more stuff with Michael Urie's character as well, which I really enjoyed as it goes on. I guess like like I- getting to see Liz in those, like I said, like getting to see Liz in those different spots, I guess
Oh
for
my God,
you.
that scene, I don't know if you've probably seen
I've
it,
seen
but
it, but yeah, we
the
could
scene I
tease
have
it.
with Michael and his
Yeah.
husband, I won't say what the situation is. We could not stop laughing. I mean, I know
Okay.
Bill kept in some of the takes that I'm just laughing, because you laugh at people in real life, that was really a really funny scene to shoot. Also, I wanted that particular song in there. And Bill's like, it doesn't fit. It's too much dialogue. I'm like, the writers love this song. They keep playing it. And all the writers, like grown-up writers, doing all the words to that song is really funny. And they would always do it on set. I was like, I'm doing it for the writers. Bill's like, it doesn't fit. I was like, make it fit. Make it fit. And so he made that song that's also in that scene you're talking about fit.
That's awesome. You're obviously, like you're saying, you're also their music supervisor of the show, like which is so great. The thing I love about the show also is, and you as a music supervisor, you're always picking. Like I'm not the biggest. My knowledge of music is not as vast, certainly as yours would be. But I'm like you're always picking stuff that I don't know and I really like, and then I'll have to like either Shazam or go find, and it's like not. It's not like the typical like oh like obvious music cues, I guess I would say. And I just love that you're able to do that. And I guess can you talk about like are you always looking for like that extra song, like the extra thing, so it's not as obvious, I guess? Like, how do you kind of view it, like to make it feel that way? Like, it feels fresh to me.
Well, like right now, I'm banking, and I had extra time last year to bank because we had the writer's strike. But so I'm banking music. I'm putting them all in playlists. But I feel like I can hear like a song that's an unknown song that people will love, And I always try to play standalone songs that even if sometimes on a show you Shazam a song and then you play the whole song and you don't like it. So I like to do standalone songs, and I also that speak to me that really when I have them going, I'm like, oh, this could be a hit song, but I try to use, I have a partner, Tony Von Purview, but I try to use music that's new musicians, because it's so hard to break into the music business. And I feel like music's given me so much of my life. And I love using new musicians and new things because they can break. And when you see things on TV and you Shazam, and it does help them. And they also get money for our placing it, which can be helpful when you're starting. So that's kind of how I do it. But sometimes I go to old standby sometimes, for Harrison. And
Yeah, of course. It is really good though. Do you have like for this season, what were like some of those what was like I guess your top like two songs, I guess I would say. Like what would you pick from this season?
well, it's funny. So I love Letting Go by Angie McMahon,
Hmm.
which is in 204, I think, when they're driving. It had to span three different scenes, and we were going to cut it up into two, and I couldn't find two, like, because I used to DJ, like I couldn't find two that went together. And then I love that song. I knew I wanted to put it in the show somewhere. And then I was sitting with Bill in our bedroom, and I was like, and I was Bill, because I wanted to say, Bill, be quiet, shush. And he had all the scenes, and we were like, oh my God. So that was one of my favorite placements ever did. I love when Jason sees Lukita laughing with Brett by Leaf Vollebek into the ether. And he has so many songs that I could have used five of the songs, which is rare that is ours. I just met him. He's such a lovely person, but I love that song. But I love, like, I wanted to use the song Confetti by Charlotte Cardin, I think her name is. And we couldn't find it. And then got it in at the end credits this last episode. I'm like, it's
Hmm.
just a great song. And then she does say on my birthday. So like it worked
Right.
out.
That's so cool. Do you have like when you're looking? I was wondering this too. When doing like you're working as music supervisor, like you're saying, like working with the editors, and they're like obviously like this show. Does it give you a better or a different view of your performance at all, or the actors? Like, does it give you a different feel of the performance when you're in the edit, or does it like do you learn anything else about like what you've done or what the actors have done when you're watching that, like for the music?
Well, I used to really not like to watch myself on screen, and because of doing the music, I've become a little inured to being uncomfortable with that. But I try on those on, I know I've done my best. I'm like trying to swim in my own lane. I've known that I have done my best, and I don't want to get in a situation that I'm like saying to Bill, we have separate jobs. I don't want to get into like, oh, they didn't use that take when you see in the rough, because I know that Bill will use the best takes. I
Right.
lot of trust in him. So Harrison was saying last night, which I thought was so interesting. He was saying when he does a movie, you meet with the director, you know what the script's going to be. If there's rewrites, you know what you're going to do. Basically, you don't know how it's going to turn out. And he goes, and I hadn't done TV, and then I had to go. I just got one script, the pilot, and then had to say like it's going to be different, and I have to trust that Bill
Hmm.
is going to, and Bill will take take the best take. I know he has his eye out for everyone. So I'm not, I've
Yeah, you're
done it,
done. Once you do it, you're
left it.
done.
And I tend to just look at the scenes that I have to put, the
Yeah.
needle drop in. And then so like on a locked cut, I'm watching them with you guys. I know I've had them, but I'll wait and watch. And I love to see everybody else's
You
performance.
actually, so you watch it like when it's on Apple TV Plus, you'll put it on.
Yeah.
And do you
Yeah.
like, so you like doing like that's cool. I think that's really fun
Yeah.
to
It's
watch it.
really
Yeah.
fun. And to see the music cut in
Yeah.
perfectly and beautifully. And like I wait,
That's cool.
I just makes it fun.
Yeah. It feels real probably, right? On the
Yeah.
TV, it's on,
I
right?
haven't seen everyone else's
Yeah.
I've read them, but I haven't seen what they've done.
That's so cool. You mentioned like Harrison, obviously, like it's so great. It's just it's wild to me that he's on the when he was on the show, it was like, wow, Harrison Ford's on this show, and he's so good. And I guess like having now been with him for 2 seasons, and like I said, like you get to work with him more this season too. Like I guess what as an actor, what has surprised you about him, or what were you like, oh, this is like really cool that you were maybe not even expecting, even having heard stories about him. I'm sure, like obviously, like the lore of Harrison Ford is legendary, right? Like he's like a great actor, very straightforward. It seems like in real life, and a cool guy. Obviously, that's my take on him. I don't know him obviously, but
Lovely guy.
I like what was your I guess what's your impression having worked with him now for so long? Like that maybe surprised you, I guess, about him as an actor.
He's you have to be careful because he's very easy just to follow, and then you just your performance will change a little because he's just changed. He's so skilled, and you have to be careful because you can't just look at someone's eyes the whole time. But he's so lovely and generous with everyone,
Hmm.
from crew to every actor on the set that he works with. N- has zero judgment. He's acts like a regular person. He's also my neighbor, and I love Callista. So, like I see him around, but he's at work. He dispels any
Yeah.
Harrison Ford thing. And he was saying last night, he goes, "It's not about being a movie star in this show. It's just being a person.
Hmm.
We're all people trying to do our best." And it's like everyone's like,
So
"So
cool.
real, right? Trying
Yeah.
to do your best."
Yeah. I want to ask you this. The finale's on Christmas, I believe. So I was asking, I just want to know what is your favorite holiday movie or Christmas movie that you would be like, oh, I love watching this around this, like the holiday season. Do you have one of these?
I don't know that I watch any holiday movies. Probably any Snoopy.
Okay.
Christmas. I
Sure.
like the music from that. Like I think it's fun that Snoopy's Christmas. But I have since my kids are older now. I don't think
Did I
we're
watch? Yeah, you don't watch
so
them as much. Do you have any holiday? What's your a holiday song? How about that's if you're as a music expert? What
I
ones do you go
don't
back
know.
to?
I don't know if
None.
I'm a holiday song even. I'm not. That's not
That's fine.
you know what I like? You know what Christmas movie I like that I'll watch my daughter, the movie where uh Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz switch
Great
location.
movie. Holiday.
A
And they're
holiday.
also and they're there's a composer. It's a whole thing about the composer too, which is really fun.
Exactly. That's a
Uh,
Christmas.
it's great. Christa Miller plays Liz on Shrinking. Great Apple TV Plus show. You can watch the episodes there. Thank you, Krista, for doing this. It was so nice talking with you.
Thank you, Chris. It was such a pleasure. Thanks for having me. Sorry that I have a clip in my hair,
No,
but
you look great.